Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are gonna present lab 4 works about blockchain and distribute database. Next. First, let me introduce our team members that include myself, Dwi Krisdianto, and my friends Dia Pramesti, Kaliza Fania, Pelangi Dwi Mawarni, and Pangestu Dwi Panggo. Next. So the overview of our presentation are 1. Blockchain explanation, how blockchain works, example of blockchain, and implementation of distribute database in blockchain. The next. So here I will be explaining about blockchain. Blockchain, or sometimes referred to this as distribute ledger technology, aka DLT, is a decentralized share immutable ledger that facilitates the process of recording transaction and tracking assets in a business network. An asset can be tangible, like a house, car, cash, and land, or intangible, like intellectual property, patents, copyrights, and branding. Virtually anything of value can be tracked and traded on a blockchain network, reducing risks and cutting costs for all involved. Then the transactions are recorded with an immutable cryptographic signature called a hash. For a better understanding, I will explain about the blockchain overview. Like a blockchain can be referred to as a database that store encrypted blocks of data, then chains them together to form a chronological single source of truth for the data. 2. The digital assets are distributed instead of copy or transfer, creating an immutable record of an asset. The asset is decentralized, allowing full real-time access and transparency to the public. A transparent ledger of change preserve integrity of the document, which create trust in the asset. Blockchain's inherent security measure and public ledger make it a prime technology for almost every single sector. Different types of information can be stored on the blockchain, but the most common use so far has been as a ledger for transaction. Next. If we're talking about blockchains, maybe we are familiar with cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are digital or virtual currencies underpinned by cryptographic system. They enable secure online payments without the use of third-party intermediaries. Crypto refers to the various encryption algorithm and cryptographic technique that safeguard these entries, such as elliptical curve encryption, public-private key pairs, and hashing function. Cryptocurrencies can be mined or purchased from cryptocurrency exchange, not all e-commerce sites allow process using cryptocurrencies. In fact, cryptocurrencies, even popular ones like Bitcoin are hardly used for retail transaction. However, the skyrocketing value of cryptocurrencies has made them popular as trading instrument. To a limited extent, they are also used for cross-border transfer. Cryptocurrencies were introduced with the intent to revolutionize financial infrastructure. As with every revolution, however, there are trade-offs involved. At the current stage of development for cryptocurrencies, there are many differences between the theoretical idea of a decentralized system with cryptocurrencies and its practical implementation. So like that I mentioned before, Bitcoin is one of the famous cryptocurrency, along with Ethereum, Solana, and many more. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency created in January 2009. It follows the idea set out in a white paper by the mysterious and pseudonymous Satoshi Nakamoto. The identity of the person or persons who create the technology is still mystery. But Bitcoin offers the promise of lower transaction fees than traditional online payment mechanism. And unlike government issue currencies, it is operated by a decentralized authority. Bitcoin is known as a type of cryptocurrency because it uses cryptography to keep it secure. There are no physical Bitcoins, only balance kept on a public ledger that everyone has transparent access to. Although its record is encrypted, but everyone can access it. All Bitcoin transactions are verified by a massive amount of computing power via a process known as mining. Bitcoin is not issued or backed by any banks or governments, nor is an individual Bitcoin valuable as a commodity. Despite its not being legal tender in most parts of the world, Bitcoin is very popular and has triggered the launch of hundreds of other cryptocurrencies, collectively referred to as altcoins. And Bitcoin is commonly abbreviated as BTC when traded. About the next topic will be presented by Pangestu Dwi Panggur.
Yeah, I will explain to how does a blockchain work. The goal blockchain is to allow digital information to be recorded and distributed, but not edited. In this way, a blockchain is the foundation for immutable ledgers or record of transactions that cannot be altered, deleted, or destroyed. Using the Bitcoin system as an example, here's how blockchain, also known as distributed ledger technology, works. 1. The purchase and sale of Bitcoin is entered and transmitted to a network of powerful computer known as nodes. 2. This network of thousands of nodes around the world fit to confirm the transaction using computer algorithm. The miner who first successfully complete a new block is rewarded with Bitcoin for their work. The fees can rise or fall depending on the volume of transaction. 3. After the purchase is cryptographically confirmed, the sale is added to a block on the distributed ledger. The majority of the network must then confirm the sale. 4. The block is permanent chain to all previous block of Bitcoin transaction using a cryptographic fingerprint known as a hash, and the sale is processed. Next, data structure. Data structure is a way of storing, organizing, and arranging data in computer storage media so that the data can be used efficiently. In compiling data, there are several terms that need to be understood, namely node and index. Node, which are elements contained in the data structure. Each node contains a pointer to the next node. Then index, which is an object in the database system that can speed up the data search process. The use of the data structure is as follows. 1. Make the programming process easy. 2. Save and manage data. 3. Data exchange. 4. Manage resource and service. 5. Searching. 6. Scalabilitas. Next topic will be presentasi by Nia.
Okay, thank you, Pangestu. Now we are going to talking about private versus public blockchains. Private blockchains like Ripple and Hyperledger have the advantage of speed because of a smaller set of users, means less time to reach a consensus to validate a transaction. A private blockchain has a centralized network that quickens the transaction process. A transaction's validity cannot be verified on private networks and relies on the authorized node's shareability. Whereas public blockchains are completely open and follow the idea of centralization, the Bitcoin and Ethereum are both examples of public blockchains. Anyone in the network can access the chain and add blocks. Public blockchains are also largely anonymous, unlike private blockchains, where the identity of the people involved in the transaction is not kept hidden. The anonymity of the public blockchains has also made it major go-to transaction method for nefarious activities in the darknet, as it is difficult to trace the parties involved. Next. Okay, what is proof of work or POW? Proof of work is the mechanism that allows the centralized Ethereum network to come to consensus or agree on things like account balances and the order of transactions. This prevents users from double spending their coins and ensures that the Ethereum chain is tremendously difficult to attack or manipulate. Now, what is smart contracts? A smart contract is a computer program stored on the decentralized blockchain network that executes the term defined inside of it. The contract only runs when it is invoked to do so by an external event or if some predefined condition is met. Smart contracts can be implemented using Solidity, Serpent, or LLL, which are contract-oriented high-level languages targeted for Ethereum Virtual Machine, or EVM. Next. Now we are going to talking about immutable records. Immutability, the ability for a blockchain ledger to remain a permanent, indelible, and unalterable history of transaction, is a definitive feature that blockchain evangelists highlight as a key benefit. Immutability has the potential to transform the auditing process into a quick, efficient, and cost-effective procedure and bring more trust and integrity to the data business use and share every day. Immutability provides integrity both in its technical and primary definition. With blockchain, we can prove to our stakeholder that the information we present and use has not been tampered with, while simultaneously transforming the audit process into an efficient, sensible, and cost-effective procedure. Next topic will be presented by Pelangi Dwi Mawarni.
Okay, thank you, Nia. Now we're gonna talk about non-fungible token or NFT. Non-fungible token or NFTs are cryptographic assets on a blockchain with unique identification codes and metadata that distinguish them from each other. Unlike cryptocurrencies, they cannot be traded or exchanged at equivalency. This differs from fungible tokens are like cryptocurrencies, which are identical to each other and therefore can serve as a medium for commercial transactions. NFT can also work to remove intermediaries and connect artists with audiences or for identity management. NFTs can remove intermediaries, simplify transactions, and create new markets. Next. Next is hash information and cryptography security blockchain. Hash functions are one of the most extensively used cryptographic algorithms in blockchain technology. They are cryptographic but non-encryption algorithms that are designed to protect the data integrity. In a nutshell, a hash algorithm is a mathematical function that transforms any input to a fixed size output. To be cryptographically secure and usable in blockchain technology, the hash function needs to be conciliation resistant, which means that it's difficult to find two inputs that produce the same output. Next. gonna be present by Dia Pramesti.
Okay, next, example of blockchain technology. Currently, blockchain has played a role in several sectors in life, one of which is in the health sector. The example is tracking drugs, dropout supply chains, and securing data. Blockchain is being applied in the tracking and tracing of prescription drugs dropout supply chains. This has been demonstrated in the drug supply chain security and interoperability pilot program in the United States. Using this program, it is possible to prevent and control the distribution of counterfeit drugs and to recall ineffective and harmful drugs very easily and quickly. Next. Next. Not only in the health sector, blockchains can also play a role in the public sector. For example, the use of blockchains in the voting process. Next, blockchain has emerged as an important topic in the secure voting discussion. Although electronic voting addresses most of the problems of traditional manual voting. Next. Now, blockchain has emerged as an important topic in the secure voting discussion. Although electronic voting addresses most of the problems of the traditional manual voting, lack of voter privacy, voter fraud, and high cost of legacy digital voting platform. Lack of transparency still remain as major concern. Using smart contracts and encryption, blockchain can make the voting process more secure from fraud, more transparent, and ensure voter privacy. In this regard, GameFound leverages blockchain to guide this and also allows customization of the voting process using different types of ballots and allowing logic-based voting. It is being applied in university scaled election. Next. Next topic will be presented by Prangi.
Okay, now is the implementation of distributed database in blockchain. The first one is replication. In this approach, the entire relationship is stored redundantly at 2 or more sites. If the entire database is available at all sites, it is fully redundant database. Hence, in replication, system maintain copies of data. It is advantageous as it increases the availability of data in different sites. Also, query requests can be processed in parallel. However, it has this disadvantage that data needs to be constantly updated, or else it may lead into inconsistency. Also, concurrency control become way more complex as concurrent access now need to be checked over a number of sites. Number 2 is fragmentation. In this approach, the relations are fragmented or they're divided to smaller parts, and each of fragments is stored in different sites where they require. It must be made to sure that the fragments are such that they can be used to reconstruct the original relation. Fragmentation is advantageous that it doesn't create copies of data. Consistency is not a problem. Next.
Okay, that's all for our presentation. We are very sorry if there are any mistake. Thank you for your attention. Have a good day.